Welcome back for another one, the Wentzilla reboot. I am your host, Zilla, Wentzilla, and today, TNT, it's Dynamite, TNT. So this is Tree New Toys, that's TNT. So we're going to open up their White Ranger. I opened up Green, which his name is actually Green Sun and White Warrior, so Green Sun. So I opened up Green, which is Bat in the Sun. I did do a custom of one Lightning Collection style, but I didn't do one as cool as this one. Now, I opened him up when I was on Grown Ass Men Toys just to show him off. So it's kind of an unboxing, but I wanted to do a B-roll and photography at the end, as per usual, when I can. Sometimes there isn't always photography in videos that I do, but I try to have some type of photography at the end. It's like a cherry on top. Whipped cream is the B-roll. Boop. Cherry is the toy photography. Anywho, so I did open up Green Ranger so far. Now, I haven't really checked him out, done anything with him yet. I really thought these boxes were cool because you got Bulk and Skull in the background. Pretty cool. So I did not mess with him though yet. And obviously, I didn't open up this guy at all yet, so we're gonna open him up. Now, a lot of people are saying like maybe the heads don't look like him. That's okay. I don't need it to look exactly like him. I didn't really mess with him. I just wanted to see if he could hold the Sword of Darkness in his hand. Like I said, we're just gonna do this, and we'll do a B-roll. But you get sets of hands. How many sets you say? 4 sets of hands altogether. All right, so. The only issue that I see so far, just messing with it, trying to get the hand back on, is like the hand pegs are kind of tiny. But this thing looks amazing. Obviously, it doesn't. You can't have it look exactly like Jason David Frank, because if you did, you had to pay some money for that. So, I mean, with the right lighting and stuff, I'm gonna be able to make it work. So if you had a Ryu Street Fighter guy, like maybe like the Jado ones or something, that would look really good with him in a scene. I think they'd scale all right. Because in Bat in the Sun, if you guys remember the Bat in the Sun Green Ranger video, he fought Ryu. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah. But the only thing is, like the final form that he was in, he had a green like neck piece. I think there's like images of him with it, and there's images of him with the white. Now he had the white on before, but when the helmet like does a, it transfers into some different.
Welcome to my nightmare.
But anyway, you get your Dragon Dagger. So I just wanted something that was kind of cool, and I like how ripped out and buff these are too, because it just looks crazy. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, we need to get those. So, but yeah, everything looks great. Soft goods and everything. See, the hand keeps falling off. Now, no figure is perfect. There's always issues. But damn, it's hard because when you put the hand on, you're pushing down on the wrist guard there. But anyway, yeah, I just want to see how the articulation is. Oh, I think that moves pretty good. Ooh, that's a nice. These might be better than the Mezcos, the male Mezcos, because they had 0 articulation, and these have already way more. No, the articulation was good. It just wasn't what you might be used to, like with your Lightning Collection, stuff like that. Like there wasn't a lot of rocker. There was enough rocker. There's not much rocker on these either. But hey, you know what? They're fully clothed, so I mean, full soft goods. So that's pretty tough to do as a customizer. When I wrap things in all soft goods, and people are like, "Oh, that doesn't move like how I thought," or they'll message me, "Hey, is that gonna move like a normal action figure?" And it's like, no, because it's in soft. It's completely has some limitations. But this looks great. I want to mess with him more, obviously. But yeah, I think he comes with like dagger fingers. Let's put the helmet on, huh? And the shield is almost like it's like soft and pliable, but yet looks like it's a hard shield, so it's not flimsy or anything. But yeah, my thought with the Mezcos, I knew that those were on the way, and I was like, man, I gotta grab these up, if anything. Boom, there you go. You probably raise the head up too a little bit if you wanted to. This thing looks magnificent. Why does the shoulder pads look like that? Oh, and the shoulder pads are actually on straps as well, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, they killed it with this suit. This suit is amazing. This is a really, really nice figure. But anyway, like I was saying, the only thing, like I wanted to get these because I knew the Mezcos were coming. I was like, this would be a great fit. I didn't have the White Ranger Mezco. I do have the green. Haven't unboxed them yet. I still want to do a video on that. Thanks to my brother Marvelous. He sent it to me way before I got the Mezcos. He sent this back to me in like October. He just sent it to me. He's like, hey man, I know you're looking for this. And I was like, what? So that's a real homie. Someone that looks out for you. But yeah, I think that, I don't know if that's a dagger hand. I think it's in here. There is a dagger hand. I see it. I see one that do 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 do. Yeah, whatever. You don't even need the head sculpt if you're like it doesn't look like it's different fake. This one works perfectly fine. All right, enough about Green Ranger. Let's open up White Ranger. Now this one is not the Bat in the Sun White Ranger. But he's also called White Warrior, so he's not really the White Ranger. So leave TNT Toys alone, anybody, because they're a third party, and we're trying to get some cool figures without paying hundreds of dollars. But yeah, that was my only thing with the Mezcos. The females were perfect. Those bodies is seamless. I think they're like Fison or something like that. Like the synthetic freaking bodies were amazing. And the guys were pretty awesome. Like if I didn't know how good the females were, the males would have been fine. Now this head sculpt is different because you might be thinking it's the same guy. Yes, but different times in his life. So this one was when he was much older. Right there. Like I said, B-roll at the end. And this head sculpt, this White Ranger is my favorite character. When I was a youngin', and the White Ranger was appearing for the first time, I remember my parents were watching. I was like, it's gonna be crazy. Who's it gonna be? And then Kimberly, faints. You know that? You guys remember that scene? I remember it. So it was our guy right here. This doesn't really look exactly like him, but hey, you do shots like this, do side shots. Now with the right lighting, it'll work. I get why they can't do it. I understand. It's close enough. It's close enough for me. And I think retail for if you got both of these is like $139 or something like that. So that's pretty close to how much a Mezco costs. He already feels a little loose. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's not hooked in. There we go. Now he's fine. I was wondering on the legs too because the legs move so well. That almost looks like the movie's Shield. And they could take any liberties they want because they're not saying, hey, this is MMPR White Ranger. They could do pretty much whatever they want. And it is so hard to make a suit that fits and looks good, guys. Like, and doesn't rip and doesn't pull and doesn't look funky. Like, this is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And I'll do... in the B-roll, I will also do a comparison. I'll pull maybe LC White of Lightning Collection White next to him, and then like Red Ranger from Mezco or something like that, just to give you guys a little size comparison. Because I do feel like they're about 6.5, right around the 6.5 area. But yeah, I just love how freaking jacked this dude is. Like, he's got the six-pack. Crazy. So much articulation in the legs, as you can see. And we still got the double jointed elbows also, but you do have a gauntlet and things. Yeah, the range is crazy with this thing. The helmet is perfect too. Yeah, these are something else. I am very impressed so far. Now, I haven't posed them, so I'm not sure about that rocker. Because there really is an ankle rocker, because it's just on that small peg. But I think you can get some dynamic poses. I just always like to do that same Ranger pose at least once with every Ranger figure. It's like helmet up, either fist back or weapon back, and then one straight. Yeah, see. I knew it! I knew it wasn't gonna work! I knew it! So, you know what, though? I'm just gonna have to get over it. Like, this is just how it's gonna have to be for soft goods, unless they have those bodies that the Mezco females had. See, I almost feel like I'm pulling it out of the joint, but I'm not. It's just whatever the buck they're using underneath here has crazy, crazy articulation. Alright, see, that doesn't look super dynamic when I'm doing it right now, but it will look super dynamic in the picture. I will really get them all around. So yeah, I think they're pretty posable. I think you won't have an issue. That's the only thing I look for is that rocker. And I know depending on the buck that they use underneath, it's not possible to have that. So I get it. But my opinion so far, and it may change, because I always try to be honest with you guys, I would just have bigger or different types of pegs in the ankles and in the wrist. I would just, you know, especially if you're doing that much for the hand swapping, like this one also, as you can see, they're nice in this one. You got 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, and then five sets, because there's a set on him. So you have 5 sets of hands. You got the Saba. Let's check out Saba. Check him out. I didn't really talk about the Sword of Darkness. It doesn't have the tassel on it, but I'm not even sure if he had that in Bad in the Sun. I'd have to go back and watch. I always say, too, there's probably a million people that unbox these already, because I think these have been out for like a year or so. So the reason why I do all this stuff is to see if it's something that you guys want, my homies. I'm not trying to flex, not trying to show off. I'm just like, hey, this is what I got. This is how much it costed, and is this something that you guys would like, type of thing. Just trust me, 95% of the people that are watching this have more money than me. I know it. I know it. Let's check out Saba. Ooh. I bet you his head or neck or something comes off so you can put it in there. Saba wouldn't just go in there like that. Let me look at the back of the box. We got no directions. I'm going to actually have to watch someone's review. Because there's got to be a way that Saba comes apart. And I'll figure it out by the end of this. By the time you guys are done watching this, I will show you. Possibly. I don't freaking know. I really don't want to break this. That would be awful. I mean, he's probably going to be holding it anyway, but I'd like to do a shot where it's like in the sheath, but it's not really that big. So I guess his holster, his Saba holster, I like to do a shot where he's like holding it and stuff. And there are little things that you could fix up with some paint, like the eyes and stuff, but all in all, really great looking Saba. So shiny. It almost looks like the Legacy one with less detail up here, but the rest of it kind of looks like the Legacy one. So yeah, I think these are definitely worth it. So should we try the head? Boom. That's your Tommy Oliver. Maybe not the one that we know. No, it's whatever. It works for me. It is good. I think it's really cool. Anytime I can get a Ranger that's in the suit. Yeah, buddy. Now, yeah, I'd really like to see him next to a Mezco, but yeah, he looks really good. And you don't have that weird thing either with the arms where they're all like sticking out, like because they won't go in any farther. Like there's got to be butterfly joints. Yeah, there's butterfly joints for sure on these. That's cool. And then they're not really drop hip. I'm just not sure what buck is under there, like what they use. It could be anything. I know it's not seamless because you do feel plastic. You can hear it. But yeah, this thing looks awesome. That's a cool shot. Have his whole booty out. Thought America's ass was Captain America. So now it's Tommy Oliver. Oh, it looks dumpy. But yeah, I'm gonna have these three on a riser, like in the Mezco show. These three, these two, with the third one being the Green Ranger from Mezco. I'm gonna have them, these two like this, and then Green Ranger in the middle. Maybe I'll do white in the middle. No, color-wise, it would make sense, like a pattern, go green, white, green. But I want these two on the side, and then Green Ranger in the middle doing his Green Ranger thing from season 1. All right, let's put the helmet back on. Third attempt. Got it. Yeah, I like this thing a lot. I'm not even going to get the Mezco one. I just talked about how the arms don't do that thing. Oh, it's because the butterfly's a little bit farther back. And, little different shield, too. This one has a whole huge-ass piece, you know what I mean? Compared to the other one, it's just a strip that goes underneath. But, bam. There's White Ranger, or, as they call him, White Warrior, and the Green Sun. Oh, let's try that again. Oh, man, these things look good. These look really good. Like, it's definitely worth the price. I mean, I was just being critiquing and picky, but they're definitely worth the price. So that's the end of the video, except for the B-roll and the toy photography. I keep talking about it because I don't know what point people might stop in to watch the video or fast forward to. So don't go anywhere. There's more to come. But I would like to say that on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, I'm with my homies, my bros, grown-ass men toys on their channel, and we're doing Raw Wrestling Recap. And we talk about things that happen on Monday Night Raw. Sometimes we talk about other stuff, like if there's a PLE, which is like a pay-per-view, or if there's other stuff going on in the wrestling world, we do bring it up. But we do recap Raw also. That is on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put that down in the description. And then on Fridays at 8 p.m. also Eastern Standard Time, Rad Toys Galaxy. And that's where you guys can check out World Makers Consortium with me, obviously Rad Toys, but also Brian, Mr. Outer Multiverse, and Famine Studios, Mr. Famine. The four of us, usually with a guest, we do a tour of the worlds, the people's worlds. Woo! So, if you guys are into that, if you guys want to see some cool hacks or some cool ways to make something out of nothing, taking trash and making it look cool, seeing 3D prints, because Rad likes to talk about 3D printing sometimes. Oh, yawn, you know what I'm saying? Whew, snooze fest. Come check us out on Fridays. With that, let's jump into some JDF photography. Let's do this thing. Let's have some fun. I'm going to have some fun. You guys are going to see that, though, right now. All right, y'all. Real quick, I want to do a comparison between these guys. So we got Lightning Collection right here. And we got the TNT Bat in the Sun Green Ranger. Like I said, I did not open up the Mezco Green Ranger yet. I will be doing that soon. I know I've had it since October. So if you guys look, with the fin, he's like 6.5. And right here is Mezco Blue. And he's like a little tiny bit over 6. So the reason why I picked out Blue was a shout out to Pirate Cat. He was sharing my stuff, and he's also a very creative content creator on Instagram. You guys should go check him out. I'll link him down in the description. Little shout out to him. But he was saying that he wanted to jump into the Mezco Blue and get the Blue Ranger from the 5-pack set. And I was like, yeah, dude, he's really great, but there is some limitations, and that's kind of like the comparison that I wanted to show between these, because I watched a few reviews on how to get that Saba in the holster, and I'll show you guys how I did that. But first, I'll show you guys the comparison between Lightning Collection and the TNT guys right here. So I think, and then next to a Mezco is what, Lightning Collection. Put this guy over here. Lightning Collection kind of looks like that. So I think as far as like monsters go and bad guys and villains like Zed, Rita, all that stuff, Lightning Collection will still work with Mezcos. I went out and got the Ultimates, Goldar, and King Sphinx because I was like, man, this would be cool for shots. So when I open up the other Green Ranger, not the Bat in the Sun, the BEATZ TNT, but when I open up the other one, I will do some shots with Goldar and the actual Green Ranger. I just don't want to use them yet with these. Well, first, Bat in the Sun Green Ranger only fought Ryu. He didn't fight anyone else that we know of. But, you know, I just want to I want to do stuff with Goldar in the future with him. So to show you guys how I got Saba in there, because I watched reviews and a lot of people were pretty harsh on these figures, saying how cheap they were and stuff like that. I think just getting the suit down in soft goods is worth the 60 or whatever that these things actually are. To get the Saba in, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but Saba, I didn't find a review where he came apart. I tried looking, guys, and so I just took and cut a slit right here. And you could even cut like where you can kind of see some white. You could even do some gold paint in there. So I just took X-Acto knife and I cut it right where there is already a crease. See? Oh, that's the only place where there's a crease. So there's a crease right here, and I figured, well, that'd be a good place to cut. So I cut right on the crease, and that way it slides right in. So you can see the cut a little bit better now. But see how it's white right there? If you didn't like that, you could always paint that gold. It should be fine. Yeah, Saba didn't really come apart. You know, he's also missing some of the paint detail on the head. Missing a little bit on the eyes. But as far as like the blade, it looks amazing. The gold really shines. I think, yeah, it's time to take some pictures. I just wanted to show you guys that quick thing that, you know, I'm not going to sell this figure, so that's why I did that. But if you're going to sell it, you might not want to cut that. But once it sits in there, it's been sitting there for like a half an hour now, and you really can't see that white line. I mean, not like you're going to take a picture or have them displayed where you're going to be able to see that anywho. So, yeah, and then it just fits right back in there. As far as them being cheap, I don't think that the figures are cheap underneath. I think that, you know, they do articulate. They have butterfly joints, which the Mezcos do not have. So, I mean, that's something that they give us that we didn't get with the Mezcos. Now, the suits are a little loose, a little baggy, as you can see, like, but that's almost needed in order to be able to move the figure underneath. Anywho, let's do some B-roll and some shots.